Welcome to the supermoon of Aquarius on January the 21st. We just had a very strong start to 2023, and don't forget that we are in a universal month 8 in January, and 8 and 1 being the first month of the year, very, very powerful energy to work with. Now, since we had that full moon in Cancer on the 6th, there could have been a lot of energy coming to the surface. If you found yourself working with the emotions, meaning a lot of emotional upheaval or emotions coming to the surface, then you're definitely not alone. I was feeling it after the full moon. I definitely was feeling great going into the full moon, and then afterwards it was quite intense. There was a lot of cleansing and purifying of old energies that are still coming to the surface for myself. So again, if you are feeling some of the after effects of the full moon, sometimes it can be very uncomfortable. It can bring up a lot of uncomfortable energies to the surface. Know that it's the full moon. We can look to the full moon as guidance for some of these more uncomfortable circumstances that we might find ourselves in. And when you feel these energies coming to the surface, if it's sadness, if it's loss, if it's despair, if it's uncertainty, try to feel through the emotions, try to understand maybe where they're coming from. If you can go right to the root source of some of these emotions, that is the best way to navigate and to know that it is very temporary and it is only cycling through. Full moons do bring up a lot of emotion, especially during the water signs when the full moon is in the water elements. Cancer being one of them, the first water sign in the zodiac calendars where we really get in touch with our emotions. So anything that has been buried, any unresolved wounds or situations that you may be navigating at this time could very well be heightened in an emotional way. So just sit with the emotions, be kind to yourself, be gentle. It is only temporary, even though it feels very strong sometimes, it will cycle through. And a lot of these emotions are running its course. And the best advice I could give is just to give it some time to feel into it, to honor it, to not be hard on yourself, to be gentle with yourself, and to try to, after a certain point of time, detach from the emotions, to not feed into them too long, because sometimes we can really wallow into the emotions and find ourselves stuck in some of those perpetual thoughts and feelings over an extended period of time. And so it's good to understand and to process and to release, but then we also have to negotiate a little bit with ourselves and work on a time frame of when to detach and to let go of those emotions and to move on so that we can regain our power and so that we can regain focus on what we want to create moving forward. Now, this is leading us into the new moon in Aquarius. Now, this is the first new moon of 2023. This can be seen as a very official way to start the new year of 2023 if you want to look at it like that, because of the release that we just had with the full moon in Cancer, but then moving into the new moon in Aquarius really offers us a fresh start. We had the new moon at the end of December in Capricorn, which did offer a really nice way to, or time to, establish our intentions in the practical realm, dealing with our career, dealing with finances, dealing with anything that we want to commit to for building in the practical realm in 2023. But this is now an official 2023 new clean slate and fresh start for this new year as well. So Aquarius energy is the fixed sign that we find ourselves in regarding our intellect, regarding analysis, but the representation of Aquarius energy is a very innovative, very progressive, and it can be emotionally detached type of energy as well. So there are going to be a couple different threads here that I'm going to tie together with this new moon. New moons in general very much is a time of a clean slate. So wipe the slate clean of anything that may have been resolved during that full moon in Cancer, any, again, emotions that may have surfaced, even anything that you had set, any intentions you had set during the new moon in Capricorn. This is an evolution of that intention setting that you may have established during that time in Capricorn season. It's the evolution of that. So we went from Earth energy in Capricorn of getting serious, of becoming grounded in what we want to create in our practical realm. Success, again, it could be relationship, it could be investing in ourselves, investing in our future, but all about initiation in the practical realm. And then the Aquarius energy is now, how can we push our boundaries further to evolve into expansion regarding humanity and regarding in how we can progress the world in a productive way, an innovative way. So Aquarius energy is very innovative, very progressive, likes to challenge old systems and old ways, and is a little bit of a contradictory energy to Capricorn in a sense, right? But it works together. So we establish the rules and the structure and what we want to create in the practical, but then we're also challenged to break some of those rules and to step out of our comfort zone and to be innovative and be progressive. Where can we bend the rules a little bit and be innovative and have a bit of fun with what we are wanting to create? And perhaps how can we also advance humanity in a supportive and innovative way? So anything that you are wanting to manifest, anything that you are wanting to create moving forward, you'll have fresh insight into maybe problem solving, into maybe being more progressive with maybe your manifestations that you established for the new year in Capricorn season. But it really is how we can advance. So there's going to be this cleansing process happening from that full moon in Cancer to this new moon in Aquarius, where there's a bit of that cleansing that's happened, the water bear, cleansing and purifying. With Aquarius season now moving into how we can cleanse and purify towards a higher consciousness and towards a more collaborative and collective effort for advancing humanity. So what can you do with your part regarding humanity and advancing in some kind of form that's going to be part of the greater collective? Now, as part of the greater collective, this is going to really shift and progress. And I remember last year during the new moon in Aquarius, there were a lot of protests, and I did actually go to one just to see and just to, and it was interesting because I wasn't really involved in protests. I don't think I've ever been in a protest before in my life, to tell the truth, but I really felt inspired to go to this and to be part of it and to see what it would be like. And the energy was incredible. And I really felt it. I really did feel the progression of Aquarius energy. There were, I think, 50,000 people involved in this, and it was just, the energy was incredible. Anyway, so I do feel that we are in a very interesting time right now, and you cannot dismiss what is happening on a collective level, and this will progress it even further. So we are going to be in that timeline, or in this timeline, for some time. But this is going to really give it that boost, right? So we are in that universal month number 8, which is very much a personal power and potency. But on a collective level, the 8 can be very powerful. This is where a lot of change can happen, and a lot of imbalances with power can be challenged to bring those imbalances into balance. So especially with Aquarius energy, it's about the people. It's about humanity. It's about the greater collective. It's about breaking the old systems and the old paradigms. So on the collective level, you can very well see, or you might witness, a lot of these bigger clashes starting to happen. They are already happening, but there very well could be even more of that happening towards the end of this month, considering being in this universal 8 energy and with Aquarius new moon, Aquarius season starting to set in. Now, one thing also to keep in mind with regards to your journey and some of the things that may surface around this new moon is the Aquarius energy is very individualistic. It can be detached from emotions. So anything on the emotional front that you have been working on or working through, you may notice some detachment starting to happen, either with old emotions that needed to cycle through, or maybe with a relationship or family member or within yourself. So the Aquarius energy can be very emotionally detached, but more positive within groups of people, like more of a positive influence within groups of people. Again, thinking of collective, thinking about groups of people, but on an individual or an isolated manner, the emotions can become quite detached. So you may be noticing a little bit of that shift starting to happen as we move into this new moon in Aquarius. But as I mentioned earlier, new moons are very much a time of clean slate. It is when the sun is not touching the earth in the nighttime. So we have a bit of that silence. We have a bit of that ease and that time to cast new intentions into the universe. And part of manifestation is the energetic alignment. Part of it is doing the work. For the new moon in Aquarius, you want to start to establish new intentions. So use what you have begun in the new year or during the new moon in Capricorn, or you can start fresh and just take your manifestations to another level of innovation, of progression, of maybe how you can make a social impact, how you can maybe go your own way and be more of your own entity in whatever industry or whatever you're wanting to pursue by being unique, by letting your gifts shine, by tapping into your unique gifts and talents and letting that shine in the world in some kind of way, or in your environment, or within maybe something that you're wanting to start within a business venture or anything along those lines. Now, during the new moon, write down your manifestations. I do have a moon journal for this lunar cycle. I highly suggest it's very inexpensive, but it will guide you through all of the cycles within this lunar cycle to work with the Aquarian energy for manifestation, for a new cycle of manifestation. So I will leave a link below. But again, write it down, put it on paper. You can speak it into the universe to make it so. It solidifies. Words are very powerful. So you can cast those intentions into the universe. You can run a salt bath, clean the old energy off, put your feet, and it could be a shower as well, put your feet into your new future when you step out. And you can also light a sage just to clear the old, to give thanks to the past and everything that you've learned, everything that you've gone through over the last month or longer, and clear space for the new. For the following week after this new moon in Aquarius, energetically align with the future that you want. Visualize, feel it. Do it every day, morning before you wake up, before you get out of bed, and at night before you fall asleep. That is best when the subconscious is quiet and when you can work on the reprogramming. So work on the visualization, work on feeling into the future that you want. I also should mention with Aquarius energy as well, just one more note. Aquarius is fixed air, meaning that it is almost a little bit relatable to Scorpionic energy regarding dissecting information. Now, Scorpio energy is more of the water, more of the psyche, more of the depth, but Aquarius energy is the depth with the intellect. Now, this is a good time to absorb your energy into learning, into diving deep into knowledge, into wisdom, and it is all of advancing your abilities to make an impact in this world. Now, you could be maybe exploring information for furthering your career, maybe spiritual development, but we're also in a universal year 7, which is the deep dive. It's going in for the truth. It's analyzing and seeking and searching the truth. So this is going to be a nice complementary energy for seeking the truth within self, within the collective, within different forms of maybe old systems that need to be explored, maybe media, maybe content, doing some deep dive and searching into information. So this could be, again, learning, it could be questioning, it could be seeking the truth. So however that resonates with you, it's a really good time to expand your knowledge and to go deeper within and to do some searching to feed the mind. In February, we are going to be entering a universal month 9. Now, this is where some of the energies of endings are going to come into play. We had a universal month number 9 in December, and now we are moving into a universal month number 9 in February. There's a little bit of the interplay between 8 and 9, 8 and 9 over the last 4 months. Creation, alignment, stepping into our power, purification, endings, cutting old ties, cutting old attachments, purifications, a little bit of the death and rebirth a bit, because after the 9, we get a 1, we get a new beginning. So anything that is being initiated during this new moon, be aware of anything also that might need to be let go of, or that might need to fade away, or that might need to transition away from, or anything that we need to let go of emotionally, intellectually, spiritually, physically, however that resonates. It is going to play out next month. So next month there could be realizations. And also too, I need to add, whenever we manifest, whenever we create something new, we have to be prepared to allow for things to fall apart. That is the universe aligning us with what we truly desire and who we really are on an authentic level. And part of this work is aligning with who we really are on an authentic level. And the more work that we do with these lunar cycles, we peel back more and more of those layers of who we really are, what we really desire. And then we learn so much about ourselves along the way, about all these different traits that we have and that within us and that we can work with for manifestation and creation and transformation. When we manifest, we also have to be that person who is part of that future dimension, part of that success story, part of that love story, part of that lifestyle story, whatever it is that you are manifesting, you have to be that person who is in that story. It's not just about wanting a certain outcome, it's about you being that person. So there are all these dimensions to this practice and all of these aspects that need to change within us that will line us up to be in that future dimension. This is a broad and multidimensional experience. So again, just think of that, put that in your back pocket for next month, because things are going to change next month, especially between this month and February, moving into this, from this new moon, moving into the month of February. All right, so I hope this offered you some guidance when you needed it the most. Of course, make sure to check out the new moon journal that I have for you listed below. And I am wishing you all the best during this new moon and beyond. Until next time, take care.